Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Yes, and Everson Walls is in the building.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're
we
welcome.
missed you the last 3 days here on Mick Shots inside the SWBC podcast studio, where there are football fields or football players arriving on a football field. And I am told with the temperature up around 90 degrees again, a record-setting day heat-wise here in North Texas, it's going to be a half and half day.
I heard that I missed a lot of hot days here in the area. What's going on?
So
man?
you actually you were on assignment or you were on vacation?
He was in New Mexico again.
I was in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
We were dealing with the Congressional Medal of Honor winners. They came out and played golf with us. Oh. We had a nice reception. You hear the amazing stories of the guys, man. Man, I couldn't go to war, bro.
Yeah, no kidding.
I could not go to war, man. You think training day is tough? You think that's not?
We were born at just the right time.
Yes,
it was just
we
after
were.
the draft.
And I was the only son, so I think I could have gotten out of it. Mm-hmm. Right? Isn't that how it goes? If you're like the only son, you can get out of the draft or something like that. No, I'm the only son.
I'm an only son too.
Yeah, you're not supposed to go. You're supposed to stay home and protect the home.
I was an only son in college.
Like you're holding a gun.
And none of that stuff worked.
Obviously, I don't have a gun. This is why I hold a gun.
The only thing that worked for me was ROTC, okay?
Man, that's tough.
I was gone.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get out of it, man. Like, oh, I'm the only son, so I'm good.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
I used to worry about that all the time. Whew.
You would have had to go to Canada.
I probably would have. I like Canada.
There's
Canada,
a reason why
cool
a lot of people went to Canada.
Cool
believe
people
me.
up in Canada, man. I could have survived.
Well, it is Thursday of Niners week, and Everson does not want us to talk Niners week, but we have to because it is upon us.
I love Niners week.
You get more phone calls this week than any other week of the year?
I do, and I
Like
look
from
at
media
the difference
people?
between Giants week versus 49er week. Why does no one call me during that Giants week?
Yeah, you won a Super Bowl with the Giants.
No one calls me during Giants week. It's like, I get texts from my boys. That's about it in New York.
Oh, yeah.
No, Niners week, I already have some guy trying to call me. I'm going to call him and talk to him. And so it gives me a chance to revise history.
Well, what you need to do when they call you for these, just remind them that you advanced to the top 31 for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Man. Hey, congratulations to my family because they are, oh, my God, they want this so bad. And you know what? You have to, how can I put it? You have to respect the process, even though you're pissed off at the process, because, you got to adhere to it. And I'm not going to sit here and say, man, screw that, because if it was just me. But when you got your family who really want this. I had my cousin calling me from Odessa, Texas. His name is Daryl Mitchell. He used to play basketball for Texas Tech when Bill Parcells was there.
Oh, 1977 or so.
He knew Bill Parcells. And he called me yesterday, man, and he was like, man, I like how you're handling your situation. Everybody's going crazy over this. Everybody wants this. But, you're trying to play it down. I said, I like the way you're doing it. And I'm like, man, you have to, because I'm 64 freaking years old. Okay.
Oh, man, that's
I
old.
know that's nothing compared to you guys, but compared to the other athletes around here, I am old. So I've been through it all. But when it comes to your family, this is really what they want. They really want it bad. And so, you can't just blow it off because then you're disrespecting those that love
So
it.
who was it was the Giants linebacker that got sideways with the Hall of Fame? Reasons?
No,
it wasn't Reasons.
Reasons is white. This guy was black.
No, yeah.
No, it's Harry Carson.
Yeah,
Harry
sorry.
Carson. No, he messing with
Reasons from Crowley, Texas.
Right, yeah, he got all he got. He's top 100 giant. He's proud of himself. He's got a stadium named after him.
That's right.
In
Crowley,
the Texas area.
at Crowley.
Gary Reed's a good dude. Really
So
good
it
dude.
was
Really good. Harry Carson.
Yeah.
Had to be a black school thing, Harry Carson.
And then
South
he gets
Carolina
in,
State.
and then it's like, well, okay.
Right. Which
I'll
never
show
should have
up.
gone to that.
Yeah.
Never should have come. Which he was there this past week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Harry Carson.
One
does
of your
good work.
fellow Grambling guys is one of the 31 as well, Albert Lewis.
Albert Lewis,
who's younger than you, who you were there at the same time?
We were threatened
couple years
with
difference?
Albert Lewis when Coach Rob was there. He's like, this guy's coming from Mansfield, Louisiana, and he runs like the wind, damn it. I'm like, okay, who is this guy coming in here? Well, it happened to be Albert Lewis, who did run like the wind. He ran about a 4.3 40. This guy, long legs, he's taller than me, but he couldn't beat me out. He couldn't. I told sorry, coach.
He had to wait his time.
He had to wait his time while I'm leading the nation.
Okay, we need to
Grambling
point
State.
that out to the Hall of Fame that
Right.
y'all were on the same
Yeah,
team
the guy
together.
he's still my backup.
That's right.
He's my backup here.
You're gonna put my backup in ahead of me?
That's right. But he ended up getting, if I'm not mistaken, 50-plus interceptions. So he wasn't just out there messing around. He was
He was awfully
one of the
good
top,
with the Chiefs,
He
right?
was one of the top DBs in there with Ross. Was the other?
Yes.
And
there was
around
two of
Dewan
them.
Cherry as well. Hell of a secondary.
They had a great secondary.
They sure did.
So when those people call from San Francisco, maybe one of them will be a voter, so make sure he gets
Treat
reminded.
him nice. Treat him nice.
And make sure you remind him that if you got to vote, it's got to be for me.
When's your birthday?
December 28th.
Okay. Well, Albert Lewis is 64 years old, too.
Yeah. See, it didn't take me long to get through school. I went through school.
You got there early.
Yes, I skipped up.
They
I skipped up
advanced
in
you?
the first grade.
You skipped first grade.
That's
So you
I
were
was
17.
Skip first grade.
No, we were taking aptitude tests at the time.
In first grade.
Before first grade. You take it while you're in kindergarten. This is in Texas. I don't know. Bill messed up. I did well. So I did well enough to where I was skipped up into the first grade after 2 weeks. And they don't just put you in first grade. They took the entire desk. So I had,
moved it?
You had your name on the desk back in the day. They tape it on. And so I come in from lunch, and hey, where's my desk? They moved the entire desk to the second grade.
They moved Emerson's desk to
Emerson, yeah. Well, back then it was just Cubby. They didn't really care.
Gosh,
But,
for 11 days, I had to wait another year.
Wow. Did you?
Because
were special?
the cutoff was December 1st.
Oh, I thought you were special.
And by the way, Albert Lewis
Special.
Albert Lewis had 42 interceptions.
Okay, did well. He did well.
Did well.
And
you did better. You had 57.
Let's not dog out. Let's not forget about the man who's really. Oh no, Lester can't. No. Once the stickum left, Lester's hands left. And he was playing with just nubs. He was.
But he's one of the 31 too.
Who was
Lester
a baller.
Hayes.
Who was a baller.
Had 13 picks in one season, a couple of years before you.
It was, including playoffs. That was one of the best playoff runs ever. He had 5 picks in the playoffs, going through the Super Bowl, which they won that year. I believe it was 1980. I think overall he had like 18 picks, and he dropped like 3 or 4 of them.
But he only had 39 in his career.
I believe.
Not enough stickum.
Not enough stickum. They outlawed it.
So not only Everson Walls, but Darren Woodson.
Darren Woodson. And one more.
Once again, now he's top 50. Woody, Eric Williams, and Walls, and
Harvey
Martin.
Come on,
Harvey
man.
Martin, yes,
Harvey
in the
Martin,
31.
bro.
Yep.
You got to put
You ain't
Harvey
getting,
in there, man.
You ain't getting 2.
So there'll be 3 of the old timers.
Okay. Is that what we are now?
3 of us old timers. That'd be a good name for this show.
And then what? Old timers. I've had somebody come up and say that to me. Your guys' show is really good because you guys can go into history. You're the old timers.
Yeah. I just say old dudes. That's all I say. And we go down a rabbit hole. That's what I tell them. We're known for our rabbit holes.
So it's almost like exhausting after promoting him and Woody all these years, and now here it goes again.
Mm-hmm.
What more can I say?
Yeah.
Because it's been said, no one's listening. there's no reason in the world Woody shouldn't be in. And he's down to 50. They go to 25, and then they go to the finals that they talk about during the Super Bowl.
So he's no more modern day.
He is modern day.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Eric Williams is close to. I mean, he's because I think on that the seniors committee or whatever, your last season had to be 1999 or previous.
Yes.
So it's basically a last century deal. Well, Eric Williams' last season playing was 2001 with the Ravens. He was with the Cowboys through 2000. So that's sad to think about, where those guys that played on the Super Bowl teams of the 90s are now almost old-timers.
They're aging out. Right?
They're trying their best not to.
That's right. Yeah. All right. So congratulations on the 31, and you got my vote.
I appreciate that.
For a top 3.
Appreciate that.
They just don't ask us for our votes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, whatever good that.
But they got our opinion. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you'll have to go back and listen to yesterday's show. Mickey doesn't want to say nice things in front of you, but he said nice things about you behind your back yesterday.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Because he knows I'm talking behind his back.
Yeah,
that's
right.
We have that kind of relationship.
Okay, I was about to say that Coach tells me that they're going to spend half their time outside, half the time inside today due to the heat.
Could you believe yesterday it's October and
I heard it was hot.
Had to have an IV after practice.
There were a bunch of them.
Really?
Osa for sure, because I was talking to him about how hot it was. He goes, yeah. He goes, can you imagine having to have an IV in October? It's like, well, yeah.
Would you consider
that's why that tent's still out there? The air conditioning IV tent. That's what that's for.
As Coach was saying this morning, as we were taping the coaches show, this near field is a lot cooler than the far field for whatever reason. And it was like when we were on the near field, which is the turf field, and I guess it's because of the shade.
Right.
Because you got more of a shade of the building on that near side. But he said it's got to be a 10-degree difference between one side of the field and the other side.
Well, when
10 degrees?
When you're on the grass field, the sun is reflecting off that. I mean, I said grass, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I was going to say the glass field.
No, you said grass.
But the sun's reflecting off the
then it's been baking for several hours in the sun over there.
You would think the turf would be hotter.
You would think, but it's in the shade for much. And for much of the morning, it's in the shade on that side, so it hadn't heated up as much.
Yeah.
So
do you look at these guys?
So they're going inside because of the heat, not because of the eyeballs.
He said they made it sound like because of the heat.
Okay.
That could have had something to do with it too.
I would, and I'm not trying to be funny or arrogant or anything, but I would like to ask coaches if they think, and I'm talking about comparing the 1970s guys to the 1980s guys to now, are we getting wimpier? I mean, I know I wasn't as tough as the guys before me, but
who didn't have water? Didn't have water at practice.
Right. They didn't even give them water, And we were part of that generation of, hey, you're not getting water today.
We got 2 ice cubes.
Right. See what I'm saying? And yet we're here. Many times I went through practice to where in high school the coach was a jerk. Hey, we're not having water today because you guys aren't doing well. I mean, are we wimpier?
We started bargaining for, you don't want your ice cube? I'll take your ice cube.
Come on, man.
That ice cube's not going to last very long in Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know in Chicago.
Even in Chicago when it's 85, 90 and the humidity's high, right?
You have your summers.
Yes, yes. And the lake's not far away for humidity either.
I wonder if you talked to different coaches from different eras, what would they say about how we have to, and I don't want to use coddle or adhere to.
Get to drink all the water you want.
Wow, Gatorade too?
Gotta be
different
tough.
Flavors.
And then the worst part was they would give us salt tablets, and I'm not sure how healthy that was.
I never was good with that.
We got salt tablets.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. I let mine go. I think it would pass them out like,
trade you a salt tablet for an ice cube.
That's right.
All right, so you got an injury report in front of you. Where would you like to start on that? How about we start with John Stevens?
Yeah, John Stevens.
tight end.
Tore his ACL again.
Again?
In practice.
Same one? Same leg?
I believe it was.
Wow. That's crazy.
Well, it doesn't matter if same or other. It's just he's done for the year after coming back from the torn ACL in training camp last year. And Mike was saying that, yeah, it's a shame because after the bye, they were trying to get him more involved in the offense and maybe get him some snaps. Because he could have been, probably would have been a pretty good down the field receiver as a tight end.
Yeah.
I mean, especially his size with the speed, and just unfortunate.
What school is he from?
Well, he started his career at TCU, and then he transferred to one of the schools in Louisiana.
University of
Lafayette?
Yeah, Lafayette.
Yeah.
Now it's Louisiana.
Yes.
And that's a shame. They listed him on the injury report as limited. He was very limited with a knee. Deron Bland sounds like he was going to start in the rehab guys today. He rehabbed yesterday, did not practice. The foot got sore that week, that Friday of the Detroit game after practicing twice and seemingly practicing well. So they were going to start him at rehab and then see where it goes. Micah Parsons still with the rehab group. He was doing the resistance cords yesterday. But, those things, it's step by step by step. It's not playing football.
Literally.
And today's the padded practice, so I don't know that looks, encouraging that he'd be ready to go. Mike put it as we have to wait till Saturday to see if he practices on Saturday. The encouraging was Eric Kendricks with the shoulder. He was limited, so that was better than what it was last week, and he's been running, so I think it's encouraging that he should be close to returning. Same thing with Nick Vigil, who kind of was one of the backups in the middle. He had been dealing with an injury. He only had 17 snaps against Detroit, but they listed him as limited, so he kind of moved in the right direction. And with him out, Kendricks out, Damone Clark ended up playing 55 snaps in the game and played well, by the way. So those were the main guys. They started Jordan Phillips on his 21-day ramp-up from injured reserve, although he didn't seem...
What's wrong with him?
He had a wrist. Remember, he kind of disputed that he had a wrist. And listening to him yesterday, a man of few words, he didn't seem all that enthused that he was going to start practicing again.
He wasn't?
He kept saying, so somebody asked him, so when do you think you can play? And it was like, well, you have to talk to the coaches. Well, what's the plan for you? You got to talk to the coaches. So he still.
I'm pretty sure he was less than enthused when he went on IR to begin with.
Yeah, I think that's the.
Yeah.
So now
you were making it sound like, damn, I got to come back and play.
Well, I think it was more like I don't know what they're going to do with me once I clear a physical. So we'll see what happens there.
So at tight end, what are we left with?
The
same guys, because Stevens hasn't really been playing because he's been hurt.
Ferguson,
but they
Overshown.
were one of the big things McCarthy was talking about in losing Stevens today, coming out of the bye week. They were hoping to be able to implement Stevens more, where he might be active on game day, because they really like his progress and what he can add.
He was on the 53. He was just inactive every
game day
week
because
game day.
He's been dealing with an injury. But at tight end, to answer your question, you got the three guys that have been active every week: Jake Ferguson, and then Luke Schoonmaker, second-round pick from last year, and then the rookie college free agent Brevin Spanford,
who's been getting snaps, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where that's, and then you got the fullback. So
how's Cooks, the wide receiver?
He's They put him on an injured reserve, so he's out.
And he's
4 games.
4 games, which means he's not back he can't come back until the Philadelphia game. Okay. So he's out for sure the next 2 weeks.
But
San Francisco and
he ended with the infection. He ended up with antibiotic. What do you call it? IV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was serious.
He was on the sideline for the Detroit game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, he's back in the locker room and everything. And Sam Williams, I saw back in the locker room too, by the way.
Dalvin Cook.
He's there. We'll see if they decide that they need him. Now, the good news is Guyton was not on the injury report, so he's good to go. So they should be back with him at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard.
And that's where we want Tyler. That's where we feel good.
Yeah, I think you make 2 moves to, basically get by one, and sometimes, you lose the continuity on your offensive line. Plus, you had a guy with very little experience playing left guard and a rookie playing center next to each other.
Yeah.
And then Tyler Smith playing tackle that he hadn't played since his rookie year.
To me, that's, you want some consistency. That's a consistent offensive line right there. I mean, where they are. I don't like them being moved around. So keep them consistent in their position.
And let him keep growing.
Yes,
right?
at that spot.
And what Mike said the other day was, he said he's got to get his confidence going, not to sit there in the valleys and just kind of keep worrying about a mistake. Just move on.
That was very articulate. The valleys.
The valleys.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Wow.
He did. Yeah.
That was
I
nice.
quote.
That was nice.
I was watching last night some San Francisco coaches film and against Kansas City, and I was thinking, you know what? Tyler Guyton might be able, if he's watching this, he might be able to gain some confidence, because the guy playing left tackle for Kansas City is Wanya Morris, who was their 3rd-round pick last year. Well, 2 years ago, Wanya Morris and Tyler Guyton basically shared right tackle at Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Morris was on suspension to start the year. Guyton started, and then Morris came back and was the starter, and they kind of went back and forth.
How did he get suspended at Oklahoma?
But anyway, I was thinking, so I'm sitting there thinking, and Wanya Morris was doing all right, because they got Nick Bosa, and early in the game they had Leonard Floyd playing right defensive end, and Bosa was on the left side, and I'm like, you know what? If Tyler Guyton's watching this, he knows what Wanya Morris is about. He knows he's as good as Wanya Morris, and he ought to gain some confidence for this.
Call him.
And then, he probably has, but then about late first quarter, Nick Bosa moved over to the other side, and he went right around Wanya Morris and sacked the quarterback. And I said, well, maybe he won't gain confidence. Maybe he shouldn't be looking at this. This is going to hurt his confidence.
What not to do.
That's right.
So quickly, San Francisco.
Let's get to San Francisco when we come back on Mix Shots in just a moment, because Everson's got a read.
Give me the reads, man. I'll take care of this. Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine says...
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Back to Mick Shots.
The Cowboys take on the 49ers in Santa Clara on Sunday, October 27th. So we're hosting another free watch party presented by 7-Eleven. Join us at Miller Lighthouse at AT&T Stadium to watch the game with Cowboys Nation. Cue Thunderstruck because the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are performing, and Rowdy will be there too. Watch the game, grab a Slurpee, and cheer loud. Get your free tickets at dallascowboys.com/watchparty.
We finally got that read right when Mickey was saying it was Thunderstruck.
Yeah, he was thunderstruck.
All right, let's go to the injury report for the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, we know they had to put Brandon Ayuk on IR, torn ACL in that Chiefs
and
game.
MCL.
And MCL.
Man, I was going to bring that up. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Juwan Jennings, who had been their leading wide receivers, got a hip injury. He did not practice, and from what you can take from Shanahan and whatever else was going on, it doesn't sound like he's going to make it. And then Deebo Samuel, it says wrist illness. Well, he had pneumonia and was in the hospital. He did not practice. He's out of the hospital now, so we'll see. I thought Mike had a pretty good answer to the question about how do you prepare if a guy you don't know if he's going to play or not. And obviously he says, well, you got to prepare like you're going to play. He goes, but I really think they should rest him. So I said,
I would
good
recommend
one.
rest.
Yeah.
And by the way, we have an update from your favorite internet doctor, Dr. David Chow, the pro football doc.
Who was this guy?
Who he says don't see Deebo Samuel being close to 100% this week.
Oh, really?
The Cowboys.
He's not going to be 100%.
He said 2 hours ago, you can't go from fluid in your lungs to full health and play 70-plus plays.
Is that true?
Well, maybe he can play 35.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He doesn't seem close to 100%. He doesn't see him playing a full slate of plays, 70 plays.
Now, this one kind of cropped up. George Kittle, foot injury. He did not practice. Their kicker, Jake Moody, with an ankle. He did not practice.
And he didn't kick last week.
And he didn't kick, right?
No.
Because they tried to do the onside kick with the punter.
That's the one I tried to make.
That was the worst onside kick ever.
They tried to do a watermelon, and he whiffed.
I don't even know if it was a watermelon. I think it was just a basic one, and he just missed it.
Well, they had it laying down flat.
Yeah. That's how you do
man.
it. Yeah.
I laughed out loud when I saw that.
Actually,
I told my wife, you got to see this.
She's like, I'm busy.
Rewind it a few times.
What is please one?
Oh, man.
Did you hear
so funny?
What Brady said when they were doing the game? He goes, that looked like one of my shots off the tee box.
Yeah, I could see
it. Just kind of dribbled.
I could see that. Yeah, you're looking for it there, but nope, it's going right over there.
And
like 3 feet in front of you.
Also, Kevin Givens, he's a backup tackle.
Defensive tackle.
Groin. He did not practice. He's got 3.5 sacks, but he plays behind
Malik Collins.
Wow.
Who's got 3 sacks.
3 sacks. Do you remember? Wow. We may not remember this, but his rookie year with the Cowboys, he had 5 sacks as a defensive tackle. Remember, he was a heavyweight wrestler out of Nebraska. He was a good player. They just couldn't afford him after his 4 years were up. And then Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he's still on IR, and I think they're looking at next week's bye, like maybe after the bye, he'll be ready to go. But is it Jordan Mason?
Yes. You also call him J.P. Mason.
J.P.
Jordan or J.P. You can go with either one.
He's been balling.
667 yards rushing.
He's been balling.
He's second in the NFL to Derrick Henry.
And they really didn't. And he was injured in the second half.
Last week he got hurt 2 weeks ago, and he wound up playing the full game basically against Kansas City. He had a shoulder, I think.
But they didn't really give it to him in the second half. He was that's when the other guy broke.
Isaac Garindo.
Was he a draft choice?
He was a college free agent
That's what I thought.
of Georgia Tech 2 years ago. He's another one that Tashard Choice coached in college.
Wow. You mentioned that. Yes.
Running back whisperer. Tashard Choice.
So they've got injury problems also. They could very well be without their
in the
top
league has injury problems.
You know, the Cowboys were out without their top 4 defensive ends. They could be without their top 3 wide receivers.
So are they considering going out and getting anybody?
Well, I read a story, and it was on the San Francisco Chronicle, and then something in the. No, it had to be the Chronicle because they didn't have many stories on their website about somebody was saying they got to go trade for Hopkins. I guess they were a little late on that.
Man, I knew D-Hop was going to make a move somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
With his 17 catches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's because he's like
Will Levis.
He's like Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't try until it's convenient. I truly believe that. They don't try until they're trying to make a point.
I had to process that.
I'm serious, man. They you know, if they're in the right position, then you'll see what they're really worth. But, you know, if they don't go right for them, then they kind of fade into the bushes.
So is he trying now, Aaron Rodgers?
No, he's not.
You're not trying now?
Well, yeah, he's trying now, but it's too late. Well, no, let me stop. It's never too late to make a run. But he's put his team in a position to where they got a long road to hoe. Long road to hoe.
So San Francisco, I understand they're 3-4, but they've got the 3rd ranked offense in the league. They're pretty good. Total offense. So, they're averaging 26 points a game. Cowboys are at 21.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing, while I mentioned Kittle, he leads them with 5 touchdown receptions. Purdy has run for 154 yards.
He has run for 17 first downs.
17
first downs he's run for this year. To put that in perspective, all of last season, he ran for 15 first downs. In playing 17 games last year, 15 first downs. Through 7 games this year, he's run for 17 first downs.
We were chatting with Jordan Lewis.
By necessity, he needs to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think so.
Yeah.
We were chatting with Jordan Lewis, and it kind of surprised me. We were talking about, needing to stop their run, and he goes, well, Purdy too. And it's like, Purdy too? Well, he's averaging.
Who said this?
Jordan Lewis.
Okay.
He pointed it out. He averages 4.5 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
So, he is running more. I don't think we associate him, with running the ball. Yeah. It's all about throwing and everything.
He's Mahomes-like in that when things are breaking down, he's smart
he can go
and get the first down and take care of yourself and use a ball fake and get 33 yards down the sideline. He doesn't do that, but Mahomes does.
Well, he's gonna pay for it someday.
Mahomes is?
Yes.
Sounds personal.
He sounds like he's personally getting
all that tiptoeing down the sideline and waving the ball. Somebody's gonna come.
Cute. He gets a little cute out there.
If Mickey was on the sideline, if the Cowboys ever played the Chiefs and Mickey's on the sideline, he's going to trip him.
No, he's going to Tomlin or he's going to be like the security guy.
Big Dom.
That's right. Come off the bench and tackle him. It's going to be Tommy Lewis at the 1958 Cotton Bowl Classic.
Wow.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's when he came out and tackled him.
Yeah, tackled Dickie Magel on a 99-yard run.
Could you imagine what's going through somebody's head to do that?
That you got all fired up and you just said, damn it, he's not scoring.
It had to be more than just school rivalry there. It's like they knew each other. Yeah, I'm not going to let him score. Not going to let this guy score.
Now, they overruled the tackle, right? They gave him the touchdown.
They gave him a touchdown. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Right.
What would they do now?
Well, they changed the interference call or the non-interference call, whatever it was.
They would give him a touchdown now, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, what? Tomlin did that, right?
Yeah. Tomlin.
What did they do on that one?
He tripped him. They didn't give him the score, if I'm not mistaken. He did not get the score.
Maybe they didn't think he was.
I mean, what if
going
you got
to
a guy in pursuit who could have had him, but Tomlin makes the move.
I'm going to look it up, and when we come back here on Mix Shots for our final segment of the day, I'll have that answer and much more.
Rabbit hole.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin tripping.
Well, now, if you don't like a call and you think it's bad, just throw water bottles on.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Mick Shots.
Join the boys in the fight against cancer with 2024 Crucial Catch Collection. The NFL donates 100% of its proceeds from Crucial Catch merchandise to the American Cancer Society to provide cancer screenings and resources to underserved communities. Please visit a pro shop near you or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience, and help us intercept cancer today. It's made strictly for me.
And the Tomlin play was the 2013 Thanksgiving Day game between the Steelers and the Ravens, a Thanksgiving night game, and he got fined $100,000 for it.
Whoa!
But it did turn what appeared to be going to be a Jacoby Jones touchdown into a 73-yard return. He got caught from behind. Yeah.
Back then, because that was like
2013.
Plus.
So 11 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. 100 G's.
Mm-hmm. But it saved the touchdown.
And so they did not give it to him.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah, I can't see him being that generous on they're not these days. Oh, yeah, you can just have the touchdown. And he didn't score.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So the guy that back in the day, old school, when they stopped him, they added that touchdown to his numbers. You said
Dickie Magel back in 19.
I wonder how many punt returns or kickoff returns he has.
Well, I can look that up.
Including that one that was given to him by default.
And by the way, Jacoby Jones, of course, this summer passed away, July 14th.
That's true.
This summer.
Hell of a player.
Yeah. Well, I looked that up for Everson's benefit. Mickey, you take us some other place you'd like to go.
Yeah, let's go here.
So
let's go here, Spags.
Did you fight your way through the tours to get here?
First of all, let me say, I don't see any tours coming by here today, so
you're good.
Somebody's listening to somebody.
Your concentration's
I'm
good.
just wondering if Jerry's like, yeah, the tours. That's our problem.
No,
that's why we're not winning.
If you put the $ next to it that got pointed out, the tours will continue.
Man, who cares?
Give me
dollar
a
sign
break.
or not,
that is
man.
the weakest thing I think I've ever heard.
They're making a story out of this, bro.
This reporter came in here and I was wondering, like, she got access where normal tours don't go, right? Mm-hmm. She bought a ticket and took a tour.
Okay.
And then interviewed people on the tour.
Okay.
And watched what they were saying, right? All right. So this whole thing started a couple of years ago with Dalton Schultz.
Oh.
He got to Houston, and he was butthurt that the Cowboys didn't pay him, if you remember.
Yeah.
And was bitter the whole season he played here on the.
That's true.
On the franchise
tag, correct.
And then he ended up going to Houston, right? Mm-hmm. And when he got there, he said, yeah, when you're over there, it's like a zoo. I'm trying to lift weights, and the people are looking through the windows and pointing at me. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
You can't lift weights because somebody's looking at you? And then the guys that were quoted in the story, one of them was Dante Fowler. Mm-hmm. And I saw the next day, or the same day the story came out, he said, I didn't say that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, you usually don't, if you lied, you don't make a big deal out of it, right? The other people that she interviewed, Jaron Kearse. Where's Jaron Kearse today?
He's not playing on a team anymore.
Kelvin Joseph, practice squad? Mm-hmm. Is that what you thought? Dorrance Armstrong had something to say. And what needed to be put out is, if the Cowboys had offered him a 3-year, $33 million deal with $20 million guaranteed, you think he would have left because he was offended by the tours? I want to go someplace where there's peace.
Okay, I heard this, and I'm not going to call him out, okay, but a reputable national NFL analyst, okay, and actually works for another team, on a national show yesterday afternoon, was talking about this story and talking about Dalton Schultz. And he said on the air, that's the reason Dalton Schultz signed with the Houston
he did
Texans.
not.
I about ran off the road yelling at my radio.
Are you kidding
saying,
me?
That is not the reason Dalton Schultz signed with the Houston Texans. He signed because he got offered more money.
And these guys were talking about
and
they
that
were
was
going
on his franchise. He was on the franchise tag.
Yeah, and then
we didn't want to give him the money.
And they weren't giving him more the next year.
Yeah,
right.
That's it.
So some of these
that
guys,
part I know.
These guys were saying, when they go from to their position meetings, they had to walk through tours. The tours don't go where the position meetings
So this lady
are.
started this report.
Oh, this was her idea.
Remember back in the 90s or in the 80s, in your case, when at Valley Ranch, in the locker room.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a zoo in the locker room back then at Valley Ranch. There would be guys
really don't
in
want
there.
to go back to Forest Lane.
Yeah,
come on, man! I couldn't even get dressed.
Yeah, there was the number of people in close quarters in the locker room.
And then they started letting the ladies in, so you really had to be careful.
It was Jewelry Man back in the 90s, right? Selling jewelry during the open locker room.
Vernon Wells had his artwork.
Vernon Wells was selling painting.
I mean, we literally, as members of the media, I remember this, where we would go, the locker room was open on a Monday after a game starting at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And we would sit there and wait for guys to come in. And we parked in the parking lot right next to Everson Walls.
How did we have any room in that parking lot?
There was a tailor selling menswear in there, and the guy that was catering food at Thanksgiving would take orders for smoked and fried turkeys in the locker room.
And now,
and they were great, by the way. I bought them.
And now the Cowboys are in a facility as big as a shopping mall, and the tours are a distraction.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
And somehow,
there's no distraction.
Somehow
whatsoever.
they won 3 out of 4 Super Bowls.
amazing.
5 consecutive winning seasons, by the way. 4 straight NFC title games.
God.
And they weren't distracted. But they also had, from 1991 through 96, 51 Pro Bowl guys, but invitations, right?
Yes.
51. You think maybe that had something to do with the success?
We thrived on that. If it wasn't chaotic around the locker room, then we were doing something wrong.
When I was walking,
I think about it, about 1996 is when they closed the doors where the media only can come in there every 45 minutes.
Right.
That's what they need to do. Open season in the locker room.
If you remember, when we got to Valley Ranch, the 3 newspapers had an office right there by the door where the players walked in.
Right.
And I would know if somebody left on crutches, right? I'd leave that door
This sounds like
open.
a Mick shot.
Yes.
And it's just so bogus, just ridiculous. You can't concentrate because somebody walked by you. Are you kidding me? I could think when I was at the paper and we're covering the Mavs game, sitting courtside, right? 18,000 people screaming at the end of a game, and I'm trying to write on deadline, and I got to just have the story done and then plug in the score, right? You think if I didn't write a good story, I'm going to go and say, well, I was kind of distracted. These people were making a lot of noise while I was trying to write. They're playing football. Give me a break. It was the lamest thing I think I've ever seen.
I was very surprised. This week it came up somewhere. And I'm like, wow.
Now, if you want to write a story, and talk about how the Cowboys are making money hand over fist with fine, right?
But
people want to come and do it
either.
Right.
That's not news either.
And then to try to say this is the reason why the Cowboys are struggling, and the players, these guys that are bitter because they're not here anymore, give me a break.
This is status quo for the Cowboys. We're going to have people around. You're going to have media around. You're going to have fans around. That's why you're the #1 sports franchise in the world, because of tours like that.
And because of all this, there's a reason why all these former players are on TV right now, right?
Thank you.
Everybody knows who they are.
Okay, which leads us to this as we close out this edition of Mick Shots.
One more. So there's a headline in the San Francisco Chronicle.
Shut up, Bill.
I have to go tape a segment for the Mike McCarthy show.
Hey, who cares? We got a Mick shot going right here.
If y'all want to keep talking, let me.
Rant.
Okay, go ahead.
Just finish
quick.
here. There's a headline in the San Francisco Chronicle. It was a columnist, and it said, Cowboys getting ready for 49ers game. They are a train wreck. And tried to use this story and what Jerry did on the radio the week before as this is a train wreck.
I can't see how people are jumping on this as legitimate.
Yes.
It sounds silly from the outside, and it is silly. So for them to
McCarthy's
just
getting asked about it in press conferences. I mean,
what did he say?
Well, it asked about the Jerry comments and
on
all
Jerry.
that's
You
happened
can't jump
since
on
the last.
And people know about it because when I was coming here, I had to walk through the tour that Eric Sham, Brad's brother, was doing, and he had said something to me. I said, "Hey, knock it off. I got to concentrate. I got a podcast." And they all started laughing.
All right, now we close with this because you brought up. Or I brought up Dickie Magle. Mm-hmm. Okay, he ran 95 yards for a touchdown. Tommy Lewis came off the bench for Alabama and tackled him, and he got awarded the 95-yard touchdown. You asked the question, did Dickie Magle ever do anything?
Yes.
Okay. In that particular game, Dickie Magle ran for 265 yards and 3 touchdowns, which was a Cotton Bowl Classic record. All right, that was the 1954 Cotton Bowl. In 1955, Dickie Magle made the Pro Bowl for the San Francisco 49ers, which brings us back to this game. And my research shows Dickie Magle finished his NFL career with what team?
The Dallas
Cowboys.
Wow, come
so
on,
he
man.
was the first player in NFL history to play for both the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. And there you have it, our Thursday edition
we unveiled that.
of Mick
That
Shots.
is amazing.
Okay, we tied it all together right there at the end. And I got to go tape a segment. If y'all want to continue
you guys are
talking.
welcome for me being here.
If y'all want to continue talking, continue, but I got other things.
Come on, man.
More important
What you
things to
looking at,
do.
Spags?
We'll see you tomorrow here on Mick Shots.
Dickie Magel's in the roster here, and he's not.
That's how long ago.
Better watch.
You're saying Wikipedia is not right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to put a pin on that verification.
Oh, maybe he spells his name different.
Yeah, it's
Is it
M-O-E, M-A-E or M-O-E, either way.
M-O-E, maybe.
Gotta go, bye.
Oh, there it
Cowboys.
is. 1961.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.